Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on?
What are you going to do, Merge? You have everybody arrested?
That's Columbus City Attorney Richard Pfeiffer's office calling out the police against Miss Kennedy Kent, even though she has valuable things to say about No Child Left Behind corruption, fiscal corruption, and child abuse in Columbus public schools. Okay, so they put her on a no-contact list along with her husband, James Whitaker, who videoed me 15 years ago in these courts, and their attorney, Robert Fitrakis, who represents them ever since I left Columbus. So now they are suing Pfeiffer for defamation because of the impact that that no-contact list had on their lives. Now take the next 8 minutes to see how corrupt Columbus, Ohio really is. Meanwhile, we tried to communicate this to Daily Cause, which somehow dropped the ball because they were too busy throwing me off of the site because I dared to criticize my former pal, Mary Jo Kilroy.
What are you going to do, Merge? You have everybody arrested?
Ladies and gentlemen, the corruption that Auditor Yost is reporting this week that involves No Child Left Behind has been brewing for more than 15 years when Jerry Doyle, James Whitaker, Kennedy Kent, and I used to attend the CPS school board meetings. As you watch the video, keep in mind that it was they who initiated all of this, and they brought it to the attention of the Dispatch, though you probably won't see their names mentioned there too often. But, you know, they used to make up reasons at the school board to arrest Jerry Doyle, and Mary Jo Kilroy was fond of calling the police on us, okay? She was school board president.
When they don't want to listen to the people, they ignore the people. Turn off the microphone, shut down meetings.
Members of the audience, I caution you, do not interrupt this meeting with shouting or outbursts.
What are you going to do, Merge? You have everybody arrested?
This is becoming very annoying. As a black person, I resent those officers having to come in here and stand over people in their uniform. That is a slap in this community's face. You are creating for this board a very nasty image in this community.
They are building a bomb here in Columbus.
That's my former client, Jerry Doyle, a First Amendment protester, and he also produced a publication called On the Columbus Plantation. Now, I had to get Jerry Doyle out of bogus trespassing charges after a 4-day trial because he was protesting about fiscal corruption.
The jury in this case, being duly impaneled and sworn, find the defendant not guilty of offense charge. Is it like that? Complete.
Is it like that? The guy didn't shake my hand. Rob Tobias.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm going to get my BMW out of here.
Now, Jerry Doyle is dead now, in part because Judge Pollitt threw him in the hole when he received inadequate medical attention and lost his leg to diabetes after they convicted him subsequently of some other bogus crime after I had left the city. Now, they were upset with him because he spoke to WTV's Dirk Thomspon about the situation from jail. And Dirk took our side in an interview a couple of years ago, as you'll see there. Now, fast backward to today's report as you watch the slideshow and listen to today's discussion with Kennedy Kent and Whitaker, who took this to Yost years ago, as I reported years ago. They have new proof that the city prosecutor put them and Attorney Fitrakis on a no-call list shortly after I left Columbus 15 years ago, and they refused to take complaints of rape and child abuse by them, even though they are documented, and even though Fitrakis is a mandated reporter. Okay? I beg your pardon?
I thought you were calling us because you knew about it.
Oh no, that was just pure serendipity. I was just calling you to say...
That's really a thing, because we have even more to tell you.
Oh yeah, so now you were just telling me just a second ago before I turned the mic on, you were saying that all hell is breaking loose, and what's going on right there?
Well, all I know is Auditor Dave Yost finally released his 18-month investigation, and one of the things that he said in his press conference is that it appears that the school district had a bunker mentality and that there was intimidation from the top down, and that he had never seen anything like it in his 14 years. The data rigging, with the data rigging and the grade changing, and obviously the No Child Left Behind, because when we reported the No Child Left Behind through Bob Fitrakis to Auditor Yost's office in January 2011, and then they contacted his chief criminal investigator, Michael Spirit, contacted us after 3 months of working with him, just 3 months of working with him in the No Child Left Behind tutoring fraud. He said in all his years of service, and this man is in his late 50s, he said in all his years of service, he had never seen anything like it. And this was the chief criminal investigator.
Right, and
so
that's...
I'm sure that they're just shocked. They're referring criminal charges on a number of people next week to the U.S. Attorney's Office.
Yes, and
so
see this all...
Yes,
and see, I'm going to quickly end this interview because I don't want the video to be too long, but this all goes back to the days when we used to go down to City Hall and to the school board with me, Jerry Doyle, when I was still a civil rights lawyer, and we would try to protest and talk about things, and they would try to arrest us and intimidate us, and now we are being, our interests and concerns are being vindicated. And we've waited a long time for this. It's been 15 years since I left Columbus, maybe longer. And I'm putting up a video right now. Yeah, I'm putting up a video right now showing some of that. I'm sorry?
Okay, this is the other news.
Yeah.
James and myself had to file a $125 million defamation lawsuit on December 23rd, 2013 against the Chief of Police, Kim Jacobs.
Yep.
The Executive Director of Franklin County Children's Services, which is the highest level.
Yep.
And the City Attorney, Richard Pfeiffer, for defamation. It turns out, we just found out by getting the information from the Columbus, from a third party, Columbus Dispatch.
Yep.
We found out that for the first time, confirmation that we were put on a list. And we found out from a report done by a Lieutenant Gardner, Mark Gardner, to Deputy Chief Richard Bash in the Columbus Division of Police. And specifically, Mark Gardner said that it is his understanding that James Whitaker and Bernadine Kennedy Kent are on a list where they're not going to take any more complaints from us, and that he recommends that our attorney, Robert Fitrakis, also be placed on that list, not to take any more complaints about child abuse and the rape of children and the violent assault on the children. Not going to take any. Now, Robert Fitrakis is a mandated reporter, but they're saying that they're not going to take any more complaints about them.
Yep.
They did not notify anybody that this was their plan. This is just secret.
Yep.
And they haven't.
Yep.
A $125 million lawsuit based on the defamation that list caused.
Yes, I got you. That's fantastic. And see, that's what I knew all along. That's the way they treated me too when I was still there. They just hated us. They hated us.
Yes.
And I hate them for hating us.
Hate you, the contempt. He called the reporting of child abuse and rape of 10 African-American children that remain without investigation by the Columbus Division of Police. 10 rapes of at least 10 African-American children remain without investigation. And Lieutenant Mark Gardner called the allegations that we gave shenanigans.
Yep.
And a claim that James Whitaker and Bernadine Kent are just gaming the system.
Now, I have no innate hatred of Columbus Public Schools. I've spoken there, and I'm very close personal friends who is a well-respected teacher there, have been for years, since the mid-'90s. But we are all friends with Mary Jo Kilroy, or at least we were. I'm not anymore. But I hope all these people burn in hell for stealing taxpayer money, but more importantly, for putting Columbus school children at risk.